And Jordan, in the meantime,
Yeah,
you are
while
the
Clyde's
saxophone
chewing on
player
this.
and yeah, you are the saxophone player and tour manager of the band as well. So, how has the band been affected by Live Nation? Can you go into it more from the perspective as someone that's both in the band and the tour manager?
Yeah, I mean, I think like an important thing to just make note of off the jump is that we actually like don't really consider Live Nation specifically to be like this evil enemy to artists. And in our experience, it's more that like there are kind of these industry standards that have been defined um, by mostly Live Nation as kind of the biggest player in this, but across the board, most promoters and most venues, even the ones that aren't run and owned by Live Nation kind of at this point are like functioning under the same rules and offering the same deals, and the experiences are quite similar no matter where you go. Um, but as Clyde's saying, like most the clearest example of how we feel it to be unfair is just in the like small nuances of the deals that were being offered. And I think like again, like a really exciting part of what we are kind of doing and speaking on is that we don't necessarily think Live Nation needs to be broken apart or the government needs to get involved or we're not prescribing anything. It's, for us, it's more that we have these small little things that can be adjusted to kind of make the system more fair. So, for example, like one of the clear things that we like to shed light on that we noticed as artists, as tour managers on day one, is that one of our big kind of revenue streams on tour is through our merch sales. And there's kind of been this industry standard that's been set that venues and promoters are entitled to a pretty healthy cut of your merch sales. We often see 20-25% of gross revenue on tour going to Live Nation or going to the promoter of that show. And the reason that they say that that's fair, which I actually think is kind of sound logic, is they're saying, well, we're offering you real estate and retail space to conduct your retail business. Therefore, we're acting as kind of a landlord and you should pay us rent for your space, which I think is totally fair and like a good argument. But then the counter that we always like to say, and we actually say this at 1 in the morning when we're handling the show's finances, is okay, if that's true, then why is it that all of your ancillary revenues, like your bar and your food and your parking and your coat check, we're the ones providing you all of the customers for that. So why are we not being cut in on, with that same logic? If you're the retail space, okay, well, we're providing the customers, so shouldn't we be getting a cut of that? So, I mean, I know that's kind of a roundabout way of saying like it's not exactly the experiences with Live Nation specifically, as much as it's the experiences with the industry standards that have been kind of set by companies such as Live Nation.